Check, check. Yeah, thanks so much. My name's Mathew. Used to be on staff here. I'm just kind of here because Carl hasn't asked me to leave yet. He doesn't really know what to do with me. But I just want to share a brief testimony about how God used a really, really difficult part in my life over a really long course of time to really show me His faithfulness. So, dating myself, but I came to college here in 2019, and I started this part-time job at a sleeping bag company. Sounds very crazy, but I was just incredibly excited about this and found my identity in this, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna work here forever. And then 3 months later, or what have you, I get let go very unexpectedly. And it was this huge shock to me and in my family. Work is a major priority, and I was just so ashamed. And so, I thought that this was truly gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. And I didn't know God, but I remember just crying in my dorm room. And I'm not a very emotive guy, so I was down very bad. Fast forward 2-3 years later, and I'm introduced to a friend through H2O. His name is Will. Some of you may know him, some of you may not. And we get to talking, and he says, yeah, I work at this sleeping bag company. And I'm like, oh, wow, what do you do there? Customer service. And I'm like, oh, that was my job. And when do you start? A month or two after you got let go. And him and I are talking, and he has been promoted to manager at this job and promoted to director, and he meets his wife there. And God uses this friendship between Will and I over the course of a time to grow both of us so much. And he lets me stay in his house for 3 months. He's one of my best friends. He's going to be the best man at my wedding. And God creates this iron sharpens iron relationship that I could have never imagined, and I grew so much from. And now even he brought me on as a freelancer to work at Enlightened Equipment again, this company, and I experienced this restoration, and now him and I work together at my job, and we've developed just this deep professional and personal bond that I just would have never expected 5 years ago. And so really, as I wrap up here, my challenge to all of you, I don't know what you're going through, but I just ask that you would try to see with the eyes of faith over the course of 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years, how is God going to use the hardships that you're working through? And even more right now, how is God using the difficult and scary things that you're going through right now to draw greater fruit in your life? Whether that be reliance on Him, whether that be a deepening of relationships, I really just challenge you in this here and now to see and think about the ways that God is going to be faithful to you in that 10-year term, because I could have never imagined it happening to me. But I think about the depth and how much I value my relationship with Will, and how much God used this very, very difficult circumstance to help both of us grow, and I would not trade it for the world. And I wish I could go back in time and be like, dude, God has a plan that is far beyond what you could possibly imagine here. And I'm just so grateful for that experience. So that is my prayer for you all. I will be in back. I would love to pray with you and talk through whatever you're going through. But I just challenge you. Think of how God is going to use your circumstances now, and think of how you've looked back on times in your past where He has used them, and recognize that He is faithful, and He will be faithful. And it doesn't matter how far down the line that is. Thanks so much, y'all.